What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Whiskey Delta, brought to you by Military Gaming League. In this show, we find the movers and shakers in the military and veteran gaming community and highlight their contributions to enrich the lives of those around them. I'm your host, Mike Karnowski, aka Devil. We're going to get into some details. Our guests this evening, guests, plural, holy cow, we have two folks this evening from the one and only Elus1ve Gaming.
They're just down to one player, I believe, now.
Is it just one?
Oh my god!
These folks have been staying elusive for a very long time. They do all sorts of fun things, and we're going to hear from them. We have Brent. Brent, you want to introduce yourself?
Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Brent Wilson. I go by the call sign Sick0 in games. I'm a board member on Elus1ve.
I'm Ronnie, and I go by Ronniefit, really largely because I can't think of anything more creative than that. I like to work out, so.
You work out.
I eat a lot, but I'm not Brent. I should be
Well,
Brent
he and I-
Snacks.
So you work out that digestive system. That's okay. That's okay. I've known these folks for quite some time. Geez, ever since PUBG Branch Battle 2019. These guys are fantastic. Their PUBG team causes all sorts of mischief and mayhem. And if I recall correctly, your coach is actually a fellow coastie. Do I have that right? Is Jay still coaching your PUBG team?
He does do some coaching. Jason Acuna, better known in the gaming community as Spark.
Spark was fellow coastie on the PUBG Branch Battle back in 2019. But we're not here to talk about coasties. No. We are here to talk about how you all stay elusive. We'll start with Ronnie. Ronnie, as a founder for the organization, what made you want to get elusive? Tell us a little bit about the founding of the org. What got you into it? What made you want to do it?
Sure. So Elus1ve was founded, actually born out of a call sign from the Iraq campaign. So our two founders, Conley and Rob, or better known as Fizzle and Sarcastic, took their unit call sign, Elus1ve, and decided to create a gaming culture and organization around it. They found themselves in a lot of their downtime, a lot like most of us, playing some games, playing some Halo, having the camaraderie in games with each other, and they wanted to bring that back home. So ultimately, Elus1ve was kind of born and bred from combat. Right now, fast forward a couple years, quite a few, and Ronnie decides to join Elus1ve. Conley and I kind of linked up playing PUBG through a couple friends. I got suckered into PUBG a long while ago, and Conley invited me over as an Army veteran and said, "Hey, we're trying to start up a military-oriented gaming community first. It's first and foremost about community." And I said, "Hey, I'm all ears." I had just returned from my most recent deployment and was really looking for that camaraderie that I had, and the same humor, the same mannerisms. That's what makes me feel like home, and that's what drew me towards Elus1ve. Elus1ve's a great place to be. Still very much so budding in its infancy. Really starting to make quite a splash in the competitive gaming scene.
Oh, absolutely. Elus1ve's name has been on the boards for quite a few of the most recent PUBG tournaments, from what I recall. Even within the last couple of weekends, it's been real good. It's been real good to see your name up on the boards.
Yeah, we're throwing punches with the big boys, right? We're not afraid to do that. That comes from that military spirit. Don't give up, right?
Absolutely.
We'll jump right into the deep end. Not worried about it whatsoever. Trial by fire.
Well, and I mean, you're playing a game just as real as life right there, and the tactics that you can employ definitely can leave some of those kids in the dust. That's for sure. So it's always good to see a bunch of military folks getting in there and mixing it up. And Brent, what about you?
So I came on actually probably weeks after Ronnie, I would guess. We actually bumped into each other in the MGL Discord, I'm pretty sure, because I was looking for a teammate and he was looking for a teammate. So we said, "Hey, let's be teammates." Then he joined Elus1ve and he was like, "Hey, I'm in this org." I was like, "Okay." Came over and it all came from there. I think we formed the board probably, I think right before Vegas is when we started the actual board, which is our, our leadership hub. We don't fall under one person kind of controlling everything. We do it as a group. That way, a lot of decisions get made, spread out. Everybody gets their good ideas in. Just we seem to work best that way.
So you're saying you go straight up medieval Knights of the Round Table style
yeah.
when it comes to a decision?
We're more of an in-person kind of board. So if you have a disagreement with another person, you will have to take up swords with that person.
Trial by combat.
Yeah.
So actual combat.
Yeah.
Not with the K, with the C.
We fly the jet out to both board members' house, pick them up, and they come to the arena. And it's
don't threaten me with a good time.
Oh, well, now that sounds like a fantastic, not just a gaming experience, but a fantastic experience all around. You gotta love it, right?
And we find our success comes best from keeping a minimal amount of Coast Guard members within the board. So that's how we've really gone to keep
I will keep my personal opinion to myself, but I appreciate the ribbing.
Probably a good idea. Probably good idea.
A coastie that cannot take a ribbing is probably not a coastie worth his or her salt. That's I'll tell you what. Where do you see the org going within the next 5 years? What sort of mischief do you think you're getting into? How much are you going to branch out in the gaming community and the non-gaming community? Obviously, you're a very tight-knit group of veterans, and I would imagine you still have some active duty folks on your roster, causing all sorts of mayhem for the non-military folks in the gaming world. So what would you say your pushes are going to be in the next few years?
So, I mean, our first goal is always to provide a community for veterans. Like first and foremost, we're always kind of in the MGL chat trying to see, people ask for an org. We tell them what we can offer. We don't have a competitive team for every game, but what we do have, you're more than welcome to try out for. There's always a high standard, as you know. Anyone can join the community. Never going to be a problem. I'm not the best gamer in the world, but I'm also not trying to join a pro team. So we make sure we put that out there first. Hey, come game with us anytime. You'll see us in the public chats. Join up. Let's play a game together. You pick the game. You name the time. We'll do it. If you want to join a competitive roster, we give them to whoever manages that game, and they can do that. In terms of where we're going within 5 years, it's up. That's the only thing. Our community's coming first, but we're also, like you said, branching into different games. Our PUBG team is absolutely killing it right now. They just finished up the PUBG Continental Series tournament. They have the Pro League coming up. I'm not exactly sure the dates on the Pro League. They've been kind of iffy on the PUBG side for that, so we don't have the exact dates, but that will be on Twitch soon. They're obviously still slanging with the biggest of them all. They put up a good fight in this most recent tournament. Got a little change for themselves, so that's always nice. But we have a Valorant team waiting. We're not really sure where NA Valorant's going yet, so we're kind of waiting to see what happens with that. But we have Demand, who actually captains the Army Rainbow Six team, is the captain for our Valorant team as well. So
there you go. Yeah,
kind of where we're going for now.
Yeah, anytime you get Demand in the mix, that dude can produce some gold from not just a leadership. Yeah,
it doesn't matter what game either.
Yeah, and he's not always the best player either. The team dynamic that he fosters, the inclusiveness that he is all about. We always love bringing Demand out on events, and it's awesome that he's on your team. That's fantastic.
I'm pretty sure when he made the PUBG branch battle team, I'm not even sure that he actually played PUBG. I think he just picked it up beforehand
He actually warmed up playing Rainbow Six, and I talked to him about it. He warmed up for the PUBG branch battle playing Rainbow Six.
I remember that. I remember that when we met him, when talking to him about some of that stuff. Yeah, it's pretty fantastic. Question with so some of the stuff you're doing in the gaming community, have you with the organization that you formed, have you done any community outreach events? Have you looked into the volunteer world?
So on quite a few occasions, for a while we were really branching into our forward-facing content, and what I mean by that is our having signed and sealed streamers, if you will. I was at one point one of them, and we partnered with StackUp at one point in time to do a charity drive for them. We're able to raise a couple $100 with just a couple streamers. Since then, we've branched out into more direct community kind of efforts. We drive for some donations that we receive. Actually, quite a bit of them go into community charity PC builds, where we'll actually put a PC together and through an application process, folks can sign up to receive the PC. There are a couple organizations that are involved with that other than Elus1ve, but it was born and bred by Elus1ve board. So there are quite a few different charitable type efforts that we're branching into. Like Brent said, one of the things that we're working on first and foremost right now is getting the internal community to a point to where it's sufficient. It feels like home. It's a place that people want to be. And as that, camaraderie and internal community builds is when we really start to branch out. But having a strong foothold at home is a heavy focus for us right now.
No, absolutely. Without the community as a whole as a foundation, you got to start somewhere, and that's awesome that y'all are branching out into the community in the way that you are with a couple different charity streams, PC builds. Are you partnering with any of the other PC builder nonprofit charities like Shellback? I know Grunto has a PC builder program as well. Or is that something you do internally?
So that right now it's something we're very much so doing internally. It's something that we're trying to offer.
Fantastic.
Not just to our members, but really it's about finding the people that need the escape of gaming, right? So the program itself is kind of in its infancy. We actually just shipped our very first one to a disabled veteran gamer. And again, this isn't just an Elus1ve thing. There are actually Elus1ve is very close knit with another organization out there that's focused on dads. So Elus1ve, myself, we partnered with DadBods as well to help us put this together, and it's entirely community funded. There is no element of it was paid for otherwise. So it's really an effort of ours to try and internalize charitable giving, give back to the people that are parts of our communities. A lot of Elus1ve is a gaming, a military gaming organization and community. We are all inclusive. It's not an exclusive to military community, but we recognize that every so often the military bravado might not be what your Joe Casual dad would be looking for. So in that instance, Conley, our founder, he was very close friends with a man by the name of Preston Miller. He goes by Redbeards. Redbeards founded DadBods Gaming, so they are kind of a sister organization to us. So both Elus1ve and DadBods Gaming kind of partnered together on this. It was really a trial to see if we could community fund a PC and get that pushed out, and ultimately it was very successful. And it went through an entire application process, including pictures. We wanted to make sure that the right person was receiving essentially community funds here.
That's fantastic.
Very internal. We do intend to reach out to some of these other project builders. I'm very familiar with Shellback. I love what he and they are doing. And I'm not going to lie. A lot of the origin story of that comes from folks like Shellback and even from Grunto. So it's really, like I said, our effort at giving back to the community.
And that's fantastic. And frankly, there's never going to be. Sadly, there will never be enough organizations out there like you all and like the other orgs that we mentioned out there doing this stuff, because there's always going to be more need. There's always going to be more folks out there. And the fact that you guys are going to go out there and do what you can is amazing. So that you want to contribute, that you want to do more, you want to continue to give back.
From a forward-facing perspective, Brent and I both have continued to try to support Stack Up and other military-oriented charities. Right, as best as we can. We're still a small org, and everything is relative. So as a small org, those donations and things that we're able to compile tend to be small, but every little bit helps. So if you catch yourself in an Elus1ve sponsored charity stream, 20 cents, 20 bits, 20 stars on Facebook, anything helps.
Absolutely, every little bit helps. Absolutely.
What do they use on Mixer? I can't remember what the.
Wait, what's that?
Ashes? It's Ashes, right? I think they use Ashes.
They're not using
something. Oh, Mixer. I don't know what happened. It's just Ashes.
Yikes. You had to go there.
Somebody had to.
When people look at Elus1ve gaming, what is the first thing that you want to come to mind to the person that's taking a look at the website?
If I had to describe it myself, I would say the first thing, community-wise, acceptance, I think would be the first thing I want people to see is, they can come in our Discord anytime. They can chat with whoever's in there. And we say that as much as we can in our general chat. Like, hey, if you're wanting to game, drop in one of the public channels. I know when I'm gaming, I'm usually playing with random, so I just drop in a public channel on our Discord, and anybody can join me if they want to play. I have no issues with it. There is the occasional bad apple, which, everybody has that, I think. We've had to ban people from our server, and, we disbar people from joining the org, because at the end of the day, we are we're not looking to harbor that negativity. You know, there's a lot of negative things that go around the military, and we don't put up with it. We have a zero tolerance policy. If you are doing something that's essentially just morally wrong, we just don't do it. It's gone.
Yeah.
We want anybody that wants to come in and game. They can feel like they have a place to come anytime and hang out with us, and that's always going to be our number one priority.
Yeah. So, and I mean, everything you said is right on the money. You know, but what it really boils down to is recognizing that the military has somewhat of a different sense of humor, a different way of doing things. Right. We speak to each other a different way. When it's time to work, there's nobody better to put on a job than the military, and that's because we're professionals as well. And now, when it comes to running a community, especially a gaming community, something that typically comes along with gaming and competitive gaming is general toxicity, and we don't put up with that. We structure ourselves a little bit differently than that. We're looking to establish more of a mature type gaming environment. The majority of our board members are well over 30. You know, we're not we're not a bunch of kids just you know, setting up a couple bros together. You know, the average gamer nowadays is 34 years old, right? Gaming originated with us, with our generation. Really in common gaming, you know, in the household, you know, a console in every household. They used to say a TV in every household, but a console in every household really originated with millennials, with our generation. So we grew up with it. We developed it over time, and we're carrying it forward. And it's time for us to mature it as well. And that's what we're focused on at Elus1ve. Is everybody's welcome. You know, we are a military founded organization, but like I said, it's not exclusive to military. You know, we have quite a few civilians, first responders, just all colors of folks in our ranks.
People with man buns.
Just one.
So that would be the elusive man bun right there. If it's the only one. I know. That was terrible.
We as an entire organization call it the pride of Elus1ve for sure.
Oh my.
He speaks for himself.
He is not speaking for the org right now. Nope.
No, he's not.
No. What are some of the challenges that you face on a day-to-day basis running the org?
We don't really hit a lot of challenges per se. We typically try to do a board meeting once a week. You know, we'll call like an emergency board meeting per se if there's something big that's coming up we need to talk about. Usually we just keep a running chat in the Discord. You know, if we have an issue or we have something that needs to get done, we put somebody on it. It gets tackled. If that person can't get it done, it moves on to the next person and so on. That's the nice thing about having the board. It's kind of revolving. You know, we have that cog that any piece of the cog can fit into that next spot and get something done. Challenges moving forward, you know, we're looking for more teams essentially, and we're trying to figure out what avenue we want to go into next. You know, what game do we really want to dive into next? We've kind of got our foot in PUBG right now, which was kind of easy because Fizzle being, you know, a founder of Elus1ve, also being on the PUBG Pro team, kind of hand in hand works together. So now we're going to that next step. Like I said, I think Valorant's probably our best bet. We just kind of have to see where NA Valorant goes.
Well, so ultimately, it's, you know, the same type of process that you would see in any budding company, right? So Elus1ve is a company. You know, Brent mentioned earlier that we achieved our LLC just prior to the PUBG Branch Battle 2019, and as a small company, still trying to find our place in the world. Each day brings, and like he said, they're not really challenges. They're just you know, new problems to solve. Each day brings a minor new problem to solve, whether or not it's ensuring that our players are compensated correctly and appropriately, or, you know, ensuring that our community is running well and that there's no toxicity, right? So we have not only our board members, but we also have our moderators. We have, you know, our chief counsel who's helping coach us through you know, some of the legal aspects to competitive gaming, right? So it's a day and a week and a month even is really about growth for us. It's working through problems as they arise, while still finding the time to do what the one thing that it is that we started this organization for, which is a game.
Yeah.
right? Ultimately, we started a gaming organization because we enjoyed playing games, and we wanted to give people that same opportunity to play games with friends. So there is that work and play balance that is ultimately very important. A lot of us have full-time jobs as well. And keeping up with a gaming organization is a full-time job in some instances, or in some cases in and of itself. And we also spend quite a bit of time really just trying to talk about what's next for us, right? And again, it's that board mentality that um, crowdfunding model is, but more for ideas with what's best for us, what's best for the community, rather than having one person make every decision. I think that's what makes us a little bit different. Is it very much so is. I'm happy to tell Conley that his idea is stupid. I'm happy to tell him that, but he'll ask why, and that's okay.
His biggest priority would be trying to get his sponsorship with Marie Callender's because he's addicted to her pot pies. That would be his next big move. He wants his PUBG jersey to say Marie Callender's. Fizzle.
He loves TV dinners, man. He can't stop eating TV dinners.
He wants free TV dinners for life, doesn't he? It's like that Happy Gilmore Subway card, isn't it?
He does.
The salt content in those things, jeez. It's just
all the sodium you need in a week in one dinner.
Probably worse than an MRE.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I mean, at least when you're sucking down MREs, you're burning them off just as quick. I think if you're sucking down Marie Callender TV dinners, you're not burning them off if you're sitting in the chair playing a game. I don't know how many calories
he gets pretty sweaty in that chair. I don't know.
He does get pretty sweaty.
I mean, how many calories do you burn twiddling your thumbs? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not even sure that it's a thing.
Yeah, I just don't know. So let's get into the merch. Let's talk about that elusive shirt that your friend and mine did some designing for, and Ronnie, you're wearing it right now. That hot dropper shirt. And it is. That thing is straight en fuego. I'll tell you what. I remember when good old Infantryman showed up and showed me that thing, and I said, "Wow, that has potential right there to just blow some socks off." And when I found out that it was for Elusive, I said, "Damn, they took that to the next level right there. That's some serious leveling up with the merch."
Sure.
So
I love that shirt, and the merch is actually something that I'm really proud of. Oftentimes you'll find like streamer merch and org merch that's like from Gildan, or that it's got that tacky feel of the lettering, and it gets cracky. It feels like some kid used finger paint on it or something. This stuff's actually good. It really is, and I would tell you if it sucked. I wear it like when I'm out on the town, right? It's comfortable, good quality merchandise. And there's thought that goes into the things that we put out, right? So we've had tons and tons of t-shirt ideas, right? Everything from catching a meme on Twitter, right? But does it mean something to us, to the org? Is it a part of us? No, not necessarily, right? And that's what I love about the merch. It's actually really good quality. I think we tried some other stuff before, and it just you order it, and the sleeves get all stretchy, and it's gross.
Yeah, and you've got a few other pieces of merch out there. Like if what are some of the other things you got? You got that hot dropper shirt. You got a few other things. What else you got? What else do you have on your merch store? If the folks at home wanna go shopping, oh, there he goes. He's disappearing on us.
So our competitive team. We do have our new jerseys, right? So, and these are actually, I want to say the previous iteration of jersey. So the jerseys are Arma jerseys, really good quality, good sleeves. I like the sleeves to be nice and tight. We've got great hats. I wear my Elusive hat all the time. I wore it out on a deep sea fishing cruise, and I almost lost it in the water. And I told the boat captain, if this hat comes off me, you better stop this boat because I'm going overboard for it. Brent's wearing one of our gray shirts right now. That's another good one. Just it's got some good graphics down the side of it. So I mean, we start small with our merch offering, right? But that's important because it's more quality over quantity. You know,
Oh, absolutely.
It'd be cool to have phone cases, but I already like my phone case. Please don't goad me into buying a new phone case. There's no purpose for
But
me
this
to
one
have
is
that.
$5 and it's from China,
But
and it could have this.
but that's exactly right. I mean, and especially a new org starting out, you wanna be very clear in terms of establishing your brand and where you're going, and you want it to be quality, absolutely, because it stands for who you are as an org and what you're trying to do. Absolutely.
Yeah, we don't try to make tons. I mean, being small as we are, we're not trying to make tons of money. We're trying to get recoup what we paid to make the item and put a little tiny bit that we can back into something new.
I
And
just
that's
remember y'all
essentially
bringing a fat stack of hats to Branch Battle last year and just trading with the other orgs. I mean, that's a great thing.
this is
Is
the hat Ronnie was talking about. This
It-
is like,
That's the best hat in the business. I'm telling you.
is that like a camo?
yeah,
That is sexy.
it's like a very dark
That's sexy as hell.
camo, and the S is in gold.
Well, so the spot is that adjustable or is that full on?
Oh yeah, nah, it's adjustable.
Okay, so it can fit man buns.
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay, all right.
I don't think he'd have it if it couldn't fit his man bun.
If you were going to offer any piece of advice to anybody that's trying to join your org or looking for an org to join, what sort of advice would you offer?
The first thing I would say to somebody looking for an org is I wouldn't even come to them as an elusive member. I would say join what works for you. Each org, especially if you come in the MGL Discord, all the orgs are labeled out and you can go join each one of their Discords, figure out what works for you. Play with a few different people, figure out, oh, I get along with this guy, I don't get along with this guy. We may have a pro PUBG team, we may have cool t-shirts, this and that, but we just may not be a fit for you. We may not have a group of guys that play that certain game you want to play. We may not have the group that plays, at the times you need to play. And that's always the thing that, you have to find the org that best fits you. And we always want that. We're not really, I'm not going to say we're competitive with the other MGL orgs by any means, because we want all veteran orgs to succeed. We want to see success just in our community outside of even just the elusive community. The only time that we're going to really put down the other orgs is if we're in some sort of MGL battle and it just has to be done. But that would be the only time that, we want to say, there's no reason to just join one org based off what one guy tells you. Join in the Discord, play with some people, see what you like, see what tickles your fancy.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. There's very little that I'd be able to add to that. Is an org is a community, right? You're not going to move into a new home without taking a look at the houses surrounding it, right? You're not going to move your family into a community. You're not going to put yourself into a gaming community that you shouldn't be in or that you don't want to be in, right? Gaming is supposed to be a release. It's supposed to be a step away from life in some instances, and every once in a while people might find the opportunity to make gaming their life, right? But in either case, whether it's your break time or your work time, in neither instance do you want it to be a toxic environment. Right now, one person's toxic is another person's heaven. It ultimately depends on the individual. So do your homework. Join each of the orgs. I'm not here to tell you to come here rather than there. But we've got open arms if you do decide to.
We also have cookies
and punch with bourbon in it. Basil Hayden's bourbon specifically.
Oh, you two are too much. You're too much. Drop that social media for us. Drop that, if somebody wants to go check out more info about Elusive, learn what there is to learn, check out that merch. Where do the folks at home need to go? What's the website?
Well, you're going to go to elusive.com, and that's spelled with a 1, right? Because we are typically first place. So ELUS1ve.com. You can find us on Twitter at elusiveggs1 always.
Awesome. That's absolutely fantastic. All right, everybody. This has been another wonderful episode of Whiskey Delta. I'm Mike Karnowski, aka Devil. We got into some details. Our guest this evening from Elusive Gaming, Ronnie and Brent, thank you guys so much. Appreciate your time. It's been fantastic. You guys are doing some wonderful stuff. We look forward to seeing what else is going to be coming from you in the future, what sort of mischief you're going to cause in the Pro League, and it's been a pleasure.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.